Hello Internet, James Allen from Out of 8, and today I'm playing Space Station Management Simulation StellarHub. Game features a number of scenarios, including a 2-mission tutorial, where it steadily increases the difficulty level, giving you more things you have to deal with, like asteroids and pirates, and less trade ships and tourists to bring in money. And then also different map layouts. You also have a randomized map generator, which I do like, although I would like the ability to customize each of these attributes or leave it at random. So I don't like it being completely randomized there because you can't really tweak the difficulty level to what you want. I'm going to pick the second non-tutorial one, which will damage me with a bunch of asteroids, but we'll get started on here. Alright, so let me pause it. So you start out with your hub and all your little people sitting inside there. Basically what you have to do is create a functional space station. The first thing you have to do is worry about your basic resources. So we have a sun area over here where you can collect energy, which I need to do. You also need to get oxygen going and then start extracting these two resources so you can start manufacturing metal and plastics in order to build more components. So what I'm going to do is expand out from my hub, and I'll place other buildings I need along the way. The beginning build order in the game is pretty set because you have to get to the ability to manufacture your own goods pretty quickly. And then after that, it's fairly flexible into what you want to do. So I'm going to start here at the hub, and I'm just going to expand down and out first. Now, one of my two complaints about the interface, it has all the buildings listed here and it has these randomized, I guess, numbers on the bottom here. Instead of what I would prefer is that they show you exactly how many of those buildings you have built or queued up. So the way it stands now, I actually print out my build order that I use and then actually check off the buildings. Because I'll forget, have I built a crew quarters yet? When it's 5 minutes down the road and I'm trying to expand out. So they could have done a little bit better job there. So what I'm going to do is expand down here. So I'm going to start by doing a canteen so they can eat. Then I will do a crew quarters, which I always forget where they move stuff around, so they can sleep. And then I will build my oxygen plant so I can get oxygen. And then I will build a lounge deck so they can relax and not get stressed out. And then I will build my solar platform. The solar one actually goes on the symbol, whereas the rest of them go next to it. So that's a little weird to begin with. So all those will get queued up first, and then I will wait for them to get mostly built before I queue up more stuff. Each of your crew members has a different job. This is my other complaint about the interface, is there's no reason why this takes up a full screen and why you have to scroll with it by going to the edge with the mouse. But each of your workers has a job. They are rated in different areas, which may make them better suited for other jobs or specific jobs to begin with. Like this guy's good at mining, so he starts out as the miner, which makes sense. Now when I start off, I don't need 2 oxygen plant operators, so I'm going to make one of these become a build repair technician. And then I also don't need 2 scientists to begin with, so I'm going to make one of those be a worker. And then I will reassign the scientist worker when I get my second lab up. Alright, so now it's just waiting. I got to wait for all this, the workers to carry the goods to each location, and then wait for the technician to build the structure. They don't seem to do it in any sort of order. You'll have stuff that you queued up last get built first, which is part of the reason why I don't queue up everything to begin with. So we're just going to wait for most of these to get done, and then I'll queue up the other half of the starting base that you need in order to go. Food lasts a while, so you don't need to actually manufacture food until fairly last. You do need to worry about metal and plastic production, so that actually is priority number 3 after getting these basic buildings up. So again, they built this one in the middle okay. Each building can only have one worker, so once that, you have to have one building there. Now I could build another oxygen extractor over on this side if I wanted to, but there's no real point, because as for the size of this base, one will be enough. Eventually you're going to have to find other ways of getting oxygen and power, which comes through the research, which I'll show off as soon as these buildings go, which they're actually pretty close to being done right now. So I want to expand over and get that resource location and that one. So what else do I need? I need a medbay, so I will do that first. Check that off my list. I also need to get a supply port so I can bring in new recruits. Then I will put in one of my mining platforms here. Check that off. And then I need to build my science lab. I'll actually probably build two for my other guy. And then I need to do my other mining platform to get that resource location. So that is good to go. And then that will finish up the basic base. And then I need to research manufacturing and then build my production plant. I have no science lab, so I can't research my tree yet. So again, I got to wait for all this stuff to go. This stuff is ready to go. As soon as my second research lab is up, then I will pull in a researcher. And then as soon as my supply port's ready, we'll look and see what recruits I can bring in for future jobs. So now it's just waiting for this. Game, there you go. Speaking of, game has a lot of random events. This fire will need to be remedied by a technician, so we'll wait for them to take care of that. You'll also get asteroids that will come in and severely damage your base, usually key buildings. And then you also have enemy ships who will come in and damage your base. So really that's where the difficulty lies. It's pretty easy once you learn what you need to build when, because you will run out of resources. You can see I'm already down to 160 metal. Okay, so my science lab is up. So I definitely need to focus on doing resource processing first, which is what I will do because I need to get the manufacturing plant up. You can also build probes, which you will place a probe on the question mark boxes in order to figure out what's there. It might be a resource location or some sort of kind of loot location as well. You all will eventually need to, and my second priority is to farm livestock and organics, which I'll need to manufacture food and medicine. After that is kind of defensive systems, which are expensive resource-wise in order to shoot down asteroids and stuff. You can also do gyms to make everybody's physical attributes go up. Alternative resource things, you'll need to get the reactor up in order to support a larger base, because you can't just have one solar panel. You can also have faster resource production, faster science, bring in tourists eventually to bring in money there, better storage, and a comm center to know when asteroids and ships are going to come in sooner than you do by default. So again, we're going to accelerate time here and wait for this stuff to go up. I'm really waiting for my supply hub to get constructed because I need more people. I need a second resource guy, and then I will need people to run my manufacturing plant and my farms when that happens. Okay, so resource processing up, so I will get my manufacturing plant up. I hate this interface. No reason for that to take up a whole screen. Okay, you are sick, so the one thing you have to micromanage is tell them to go to sick bay when they're sick, and then my medical guy will go over wherever she is. There she is. She's doing nothing, apparently. Go to work. Which gives them a morale decrease. So you kind of have to wait for them. There they go. They'll go to work eventually anyway. This person's sick too. You go to sick bay also. They will spread their disease. Now the problem is when they're in sick bay, they're obviously not doing their job, which is unfortunate. This is my science guy. So once they're done, I can... Oh, they're a doctor. Okay, so I'm going to make them do the other technology in the other research lab. Okay, so we got one mining up, we got this up, so I do need my other mining guy. Once my supply station's up, I can call in transport from the supply base. So you're a good manufacturer. Although I don't need you yet. Here comes some asteroids to really screw me up. Here's a good repair person. I need a metallurgy. I need a livestock. Eh. So you're an even better metallurgy. We'll do 2 metallurgies. I need a botanist, but I don't have anybody. That's right. Okay, so we'll bring in those 4. Doesn't cost anything to bring them in. You just got to wait a minute and a half for them to actually appear. I feel bad. Okay, so I can start. This should be ready to go fairly soon. As soon as the worker gets over there, there they go. Alright, so 2 science labs are ready. The asteroids came in and damaged this a little bit, but that actually wasn't too bad. I've seen a lot worse. Okay, manufacturing plant's ready to go. So the next thing I want to research is astro farming. And I want to build my manufacturing plants. Alright, so that is going to get checked off my list. And as soon as those people arrive, which they have not yet, then I will assign them. And they just did arrive, and I finished my research. So we'll get livestock farm and organics farm up. And let's see if I can remember what jobs I wanted them to have. You, I want to be my manufacturer, because you're good at metallurgy. You, I want you to be livestock. You, I want to be a repair person. And I guess I'll make you my botanist. Okay, there we go. They'll just learn it. It's better if they start out with that attribute, but sometimes it's not possible. Alright, we're going to get this manufacturing plant up here hopefully quick. So 2 workers, 3 technicians. Alright, so we're going to start bringing in raw goods, which we'll be able to manufacture here in a little bit. As soon as the workers decide to carry their boxes over here so I can build this. Okay, livestock farm's ready, so I will do organics farm next, and then I'll do defenses. Waiting on the plastic. Waiting on the plastic. Okay, so that's done, so we will do defensive systems. Actually, I'm going to do probe first, because I will use that before I use defenses, to be honest. Oh my gosh, carry your stuff. Oh. Well. I'm out of oxygen. Well, this ends my game. Because I don't have anything researched to compensate for that. So that's cool. Alright, well, I guess this will be a good time to... well, we'll wait for this. I actually do want to show this off. But everyone's going to die soon anyway, so... That's unfortunate. Alright, anyway. So here's your manufacturing plant. I do want to show that off. Your farms make plants and meat. And then there's an accident, of course. Like I said, random events are bad. So you can make metal, you can make plastics, make food, alcohol for bars, medicine and vaccines for the medbay, and then spare parts to fix things, and ammunition for some of the weapons. And that's basically what that is. So I usually have 4 of these manufacturing plants, 1 for the metal and plastics, 1 for food and alcohol, 1 for the medicine, and then 1 for the other 2. So usually 4 is pretty good there. You know, that's basically it, especially because my thing is going to die pretty soon. Let me place a probe here. I'm curious about what's at that location. Although we probably won't find out before everybody dies. I do need to research something else, though. Well, I guess I will be... and again, I can't trade either, except with the... with the basic people. Goodness gracious. Can't believe that thing finished so quick. Alright, anyway, that's enough, because they're all going to die. Overall, I think it's a pretty good game. The basic beginning of it is the same every time. You need to basically get where I got, and then you can choose what you want to do from here. You can go after defense if you're in a scenario that has a lot of enemy ships and asteroids. You can go after selling your goods, so you can go for more resource harvesting. It really depends on your map. Go for your tourism as well, manufacturing goods, whichever way you want to go. You can sell stuff to make more money off of that. So once you get the basics done, you can actually expand in several different ways. Gives you a lot of flexibility there, and really the random events gives it a lot of replay value also, because you have to contend with that, and that'll really shape which way the development of your base goes as well. The interface needs a couple of areas of improvement. I'd like to know how many canteens I have, not just this random number 10 at the bottom. There's also no reason why this takes up an entire screen on my gigantic monitor. It looks like it's designed for a mobile interface, to be honest, which is probably why they have it set like that. But overall, it's a pretty good game. Like I said, the random maps and the random events break up the monotony of always having the same starting build order. And it's despite the minor shortcomings in the interface. Overall, it's definitely a game that I would recommend if you like management simulations such as this. That's all I have for today. Until next time, bye now.